Salaam everyone, and welcome to the series Allah, God's Level, Earth, and Firmaments, based on a pure Quranic interpretation. This series is divided into three major parts. Part 1, Before Creation, this video. Part 2, Creation of the Earth and the Firmaments, Heavens. And Part 3, the main purposes of creation and a comparison with other models. Each part will have many sub-parts, starting with Before Creation. I must warn you that there will be some complex notions and some things that no one understands except Allah, God, but we've learned to accept. Thus the command, we hear and we obey. One of the main goals will clarify what is surrounding the heavens, firmaments, and the earth as we dive into this, and then the creation of the heavens and earth, along with the main purposes of creation and comparison with the previous other models. Let's dive into part 1. May Allah allow me to present, based on Quranic references, before creation of the heavens and the earth. One thing that we believers all agree upon is that before creation, there was only one God, Allah, also referred to Allah or Yahweh in biblical terms, because He began or started creation. Say, Allah begins the creation, then He repeats it. Since this is based on Quranic references, I will refer to the one God as Allah. So the logic is, if Allah was the one who began the creation process, the current heavens and the earth, obviously He was there before creation. Okay, so we should be on the same page that Allah was there before creation. Now, there are a few other entities in existence before creation too, such as the throne, as you can see here, water as well, and the mother book. All of which we will see their references in the Quran and reasoning regarding before creation. But before we get to those, let's focus on Allah Himself, because He will connect to those entities and He is the primary, original, most important alive being before creation. And do not say about Allah except the truth, and don't say about Allah what you don't know. Who is Allah? In one word, God. Something we cannot truly comprehend, as we will soon get into. What does He look like? No mortal really knows until we meet Him. And if He permits us to see Him, God tells us that there's nothing like Him. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Although no one knows what Allah looks like, He does mention some important characteristics in the Quran, which Allah knows best, that we can somewhat relate to. Allah's physical characteristics. So one of the most glaring physical characteristics of Allah, which can be debated as a non-physical invisible characteristic as well, but since we also have this trait, is His face. This trait that we evidently understand is found 8 times in the Quran, as you can see here. Let's read 2 of these verses. And to Allah belongs the east and the west. So wherever you turn around, there is then the face of Allah. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ فَأَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. Indeed, Allah is encompassing, omnipresent, omniscient, knowing. إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ. And another one that's very important. And do not pray to, invoke, call another God with Allah. No God except Him. La ilaha illahu. Everything is perishing except His face. Illa wajaha. His is the ruling, judgment, and to Him you are being returned. These are not allegorical verses. Allah clearly has a face, wajah. Since there's nothing like Him, His face is unimaginable. Moving on to the next, God also has eyes, or an eye, found in these verses. Now, we don't have any verses saying Allah has 2 eyes per se, like in Surah 90, Al-Balad, verse 8, عَيْنَيْن. All the instances where eyes are mentioned in the Quran in the plural minimum of 3 in Arabic can also include the eyes of the angels along with Allah's eye. Thus, it's not clear if Allah has 1, 2, or more eyes. However, in Surah 20 verse 39, God says while directly speaking to Moses alayhi salam, "And to build, design you under my eye," in singular. So does Allah have 1 eye, 2 or more? Only Allah knows, but He has at least an eye, which again can be inconceivable. Besides that facial feature that we can relate to, it seems that Allah also has features such as maybe ears, maybe a mouth, maybe a nose. As for having ears, based on Surah 20 verse 46, God obviously hears and sees. He said, "Both of you fear not, indeed I am with you too, I hear and I see." So if He says He hears and He sees, then this definitely alludes to some sort of auditory sensors like an ear or ears, but far more advanced than we can ever imagine, since God can hear all of us and everything else in a way that we don't understand. Thus, Allah is the hearer of the prayers, and Allah knows best. A similar logic applies to having a mouth and a nose. Allah spoke and had a conversation with Moses directly, confirmed in Surah 4 verse 164. And on the Day of Judgment, Allah will not speak to those who concealed the book and sold His testament and their oaths for a small price. And recall that Allah breathed or blew into us His ruh, spirit, and we became alive. Similar to how Jesus alayhi salam breathed or blew into a clay bird and it became a real bird by Allah's permission. The action of breathing, like Jesus demonstrated, is with a mouth that is in conjunction with a nose. Hence, this doesn't mean Allah has a nose nor a mouth, but it can definitely allude to it, and Allah knows best. And that covers Allah's facial characteristics. We don't have any verses that directly mention if Allah has a body, like an upper and lower body. However, He does sit on His throne, istawa ala al-arsh, which normally implies an upper and lower body with legs. Again, Allah knows best. But on the other hand, Allah does have hands. You have the hand of Allah in the singular repeated 10 times in the Quran. In Surah 38 verse 75, Allah created us with His 2 hands. خَلَقَتُ بِيَدَيْهِ. One of His 2 hands is referred to as His right hand, as the heavens are folded or rolled in His right hand, بِيَمِينِهِ, in Surah 39 verse 67. And that's it on Allah's possible physical characteristics found in the Quran. And once again, Allah knows best. Keep in mind that there are most likely other physical characteristics that are completely unknown to us, which Allah has not told us, and other features that we've never seen, heard, nor can imagine. And if He were to tell us, we just wouldn't understand. And that brings us to another characteristic of Allah, His ruh, spirit. Salaam everyone, just a quick interjection in this video series. I would like to take a moment to introduce you to Abraham's Foundation. We are a registered non-profit in Canada. We are a Muslim charity and operate based on Quranic verses. Every week, we donate everyone's charities to feed the orphans and the needy/homeless in our active campaign in Bangladesh. One of our missions is to provide a platform through which you can donate your charities and see where your money is going. Hence, we make this possible at Abraham's Foundation by posting every week the total donations we received for that week and how much we spent. We show proof of receipts every week and post weekly charity clips, videos and photos on our Telegram channel. It's free to join and see. You get to see how your charity money is being donated by Allah's will. Thus, it is an honor to invite you here and multiply your hasanats with us. Feel free to explore our website and note that we do updates a few times a month. Additionally, you can find the Quranic rules for charity, hasana, and zakat here. we have a special section as you click on Straight Path. This is designed to be a Quran Masters section. Please see the comments for further updates. You can also join our social media like Facebook and Instagram, or follow us on Twitter and TikTok, and also subscribe to our Abraham's Foundation YouTube channel right here. You can also join us on Discord. If you like what we're doing and have already donated, please write a review in our review section. Once again, see the description and comments for more info. Salaam wa rahmatullahi alaykum. And they give food out of love for him to the needy, the orphan, and the captive. We only feed you for Allah's face. We do not want from you any reward nor thanks, gratitude.